All right, hello everybody. Thank you again for joining our Meet Your Major College of Letters and Science presentation tonight. We are going to go ahead and get started. So to first get started, in today's presentation, we are going to give a general overview of the college. We're going to have presenters coming in to talk to you about everything that we offer just through all of this, whether it's the Math Learning Center, the Writing Center, our college seminars, the students, just a full overview of the college just to make you more aware of the benefits of this college. I do want to real quickly start off by letting you know if you're having any difficulties, whether you can't hear, maybe chat's not working, feel free to call into that toll-free number. You can also join from your phone, and just know if you can't get in or if you maybe had issues or have to leave early, we do have a recording of the live presentation that will be on our website tomorrow, so feel free to check that out as well. Other than that, I am going to pass it off to our presenter tonight, and he will take the lead. So off to you, David.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for taking some time out of your Monday evening to spend with us and learn more about the College of Letters and Science at Montana State University. My name is David Cherry. I'm the Associate Dean for Student Success in the college. I also happen to be a professor of history. Looking at this slide, I just realized I've been at MSU for, it looks like almost 29 years. I teach courses in Western civilization, Greek history, and Roman history. So the Department of History and Philosophy is my home department, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The goal is to give you a kind of broad overview tonight of what we have in the college, and it's a very big and busy and exciting college. We have an awful lot of programs and majors, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. But we also want to make sure that we try to answer any questions that you might have. So please feel free to enter questions into the chat function, and we'll do our best to answer those. I also want to note that tonight I'm lucky enough to have my colleague with me, Erica Dungan. Erica is the Director of Advising Services in the college, and she will be also trying to help answer any questions that you might have. She knows the college, I think, better than I do. And I can't overstate the importance of advising, but I'll say more about that in a little while too. But let me get started with giving you a kind of brief overview of the college. Next, please. Oh, yeah, perfect. So the College of Letters and Science consists of 14 different departments, as well as some interdisciplinary programs, and in just a little bit I'll talk about some of those and what that means. We have 18 different majors, undergraduate majors within the college, and that includes 45 different options. And the differences between majors and options, as I was looking at this slide, I thought, well, maybe I should take a moment to kind of explain what that is. Major is in a sense, the degree path that you might choose. The option is, in a sense, the flavor of that degree. So probably the easiest example I can think of is English. In the Department of English, we have a single major, which is English, but we have two options, a literature option and a writing option. And so all of the students who finish in that program get a Bachelor of Arts in English, but they have these different options. So there's a great deal of variety in the College of Letters and Science. We also have a lot of minors, and I'll mention a couple of those soon because we have some very new and I think really exciting minors, and I'll try to explain a little bit, I think, about how minors can add value to your degree. We also have a number of graduate programs in the college. We actually have the largest number of graduate students at the university, and we have about a quarter of all of the undergraduate students. Our college sort of falls broadly, and the majors within it, into these sort of four broad categories: the natural sciences, things like physics and chemistry, and I'll say more about those in a moment. Mathematical sciences, which is really its own in a sense, entity because it's so large and so important to the university as a whole, the humanities, and also the social sciences. Next, please. So these are our 14 departments, and I want to tell you a little bit about each of them, what they offer, and again, I hope there are things here that you may have questions about. I can't possibly cover everything. Starting with the Department of Agricultural Economics and Economics, which is a department that we share with our friends and colleagues over in the College of Agriculture. There are two departments, I'll mention the other one in a moment, that are actually housed in both colleges. So students in economics in particular do work with us and are eligible, for example, for scholarships in our college and advising support and so on. The Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, which is a very successful program that has a very strong track record, I think, of, in particular, supporting undergraduate research. And I do want to emphasize that Montana State University and the College of Letters Science in particular are very eager to help students participate in undergraduate research, even as sophomores and beyond, working in labs with faculty, investigating problems, getting hands-on kind of practical experience. We try to do that in all of our departments. In the lab-based courses, typically, or departments, that's going to mean working in a faculty member's lab. But even in the humanities, for example, in history, we have lots of students who work closely with faculty on projects, on research projects, on outreach kinds of projects. So there are many, many opportunities for all of you to participate in meaningful, serious research as undergraduate students. It's one of the things we take a lot of pride in and that we work really hard to try to accomplish. The Department of Earth Sciences covers a whole bunch of things. It includes geology and geography, as you might expect, but it also has three other options within the department. One in paleontology, and it's a very strong program working with, Montana is a particularly rich place for dinosaur remains and bones, and we also have a very close collaboration with the Museum of the Rockies, which is located here also in Bozeman, just off of campus. There's also an option in GIS, or Geographic Information Systems, and finally in snow science. And I think we are one of probably the few universities in the country that have an actual degree pathway in snow science. And if you wind up spending a winter here, you'll understand why this is a really good place to be studying snow, especially in the late spring. February, I think it snowed almost every day. The Department of Ecology is one of our largest undergraduate programs. It includes a very popular major in fish and wildlife management, but also other programs in biology, essentially non-human biology. It's a very rich department, again, with lots of opportunities for students to participate in field trips, in all kinds of outdoor classes, and in undergraduate research opportunities as well. The Department of English, as I mentioned, has two options, both literature and writing. My home department, history and philosophy, combines those two disciplines, both history and philosophy, which has a very small but very successful program as well. The Department of Mathematical Sciences, another department that we share with the College of Agriculture, is microbiology and immunology. This includes an undergraduate major in cell biology and neuroscience. And microbiology, the department, and the CBN major are, I think it's fair to say, sort of major gateways to students interested in all kinds of careers in medical fields, both those who are interested in going on to medical school, but also in other kinds of medically related fields. The Department of Modern Languages and Literatures at MSU, we offer 5 different degree programs in languages: in Spanish, in German, French, Chinese, Japanese, and we also offer courses, but not a full degree program, in Arabic as well. Spanish is easily the largest option within the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures. One of the really important things I think about this department is that almost all of the students who major in one of those languages wind up doing study abroad. And I would encourage all of you to think about that as an option. I'm assuming at some point we'll get back to a place where we can do international travel again. There are all kinds of opportunities to do study abroad in the summer, but also during the regular academic year as well. And I think it's fair to say that the university works very hard to make sure that those who are interested in doing study abroad can do so without sort of jeopardizing time to degree, to make sure that the things that you might do, the courses you might take, the experiences that you might have abroad actually count towards your degree here. So we work hard to try to incorporate those kinds of opportunities for students who are interested in them. We also have a Department of Native American Studies, which has there is not currently an undergraduate degree in Native American Studies. There are graduate degree programs, but we're working towards getting an undergraduate degree as well. The Department of Physics is, well, physics. I think you probably know what physics looks like. The Department of Political Science has very strong programs in areas like international relations and international studies. Easily the fastest growing major in our college, and I think it's fair to say recently in the university as a whole, is psychology. There's some terrific faculty in psychology, very exciting research going on in psychology into all kinds of things, health-related issues, sleep-related issues, and this is a very popular major that's, especially over the last few years, been attracting a lot of students. And finally, last but definitely not least, our Department of Sociology and Anthropology. Again, this combines 2 programs: anthropology, which is its own degree program, and also sociology, which has, I think, a very popular focus area in criminology or criminal justice studies, which again has been very interesting, I think, for students who have an interest in pursuing a career in law enforcement, for example, anything to do with sort of the criminal justice system. And so that too is a very successful program. So this is what the college looked like. As I said, it's a big, bustling place. We just have a lot of students, a lot of programs, and a lot of really exciting things going on. So, but let me tell you a little bit more in detail about some of our other opportunities that we have as well. So next, please. We also have a number of interdisciplinary programs, and it occurred to me to wonder if any of you might know why these are called interdisciplinary, or what a discipline is. I suppose if you happen to have an answer, you could type that in the chat. Why do we talk about disciplines? We have several of these, and some are new, like Asian studies, for example. So we now have the opportunity for students to get a major or also a minor in Asian studies, and that usually is combined with learning either Japanese or Chinese. We also have a thriving minor, and I'll say more about what a minor is in a moment, in women's gender and sexuality studies. This program has been around for quite a number of years and is a really successful program that provides students the opportunity to take courses specifically in those areas from faculty who have interests in those fields, for example, in feminist theory, So this is, I think, a great opportunity for students who have that interest. We also have a program in American Studies, and this reaches across kind of traditional academic departments. It's really for the study of American culture, broadly speaking. So it reaches into music, art, history, literature. What it has in common is the study of American life and of American culture. And finally, we also have a program in liberal studies, which has its own major, and as well it houses, I guess I would say, 3 minors, 2 of which are brand new, one in global health and another in sustainability. And these are going to be very popular programs that I think, again, give students the opportunity to pursue interests that they might have. In general, most MSU majors, including all of the ones in our college, every degree at MSU requires at least 120 credits, and most courses are either 3 or 4 credits. None of these majors sort of use up all of that space in your life. So there are opportunities to do other things, including getting a minor. And I would encourage all of you to think seriously about those opportunities. I think minors really add value to degrees. In other words, a number of students who are completing the sustainability minor, for example, are students who are actually majoring in engineering fields, but where some knowledge of sustainability and sustainability practices can be valuable. So there is room for you to explore, to add things to whatever your major might be, and a lot of our successful students do that, in addition to things like study abroad or also learning a language as sort of a second option. So next, please. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of our students, the ones that we're really especially proud of. We're all proud of all of our students, but we have had some students who've done some really remarkable things. You're looking here at Hannah Telling, who from the Department of English, one of our humanities programs, who got a Fulbright scholarship to spend a year in Serbia teaching English. And also Max Yates, who is interestingly a major in biochemistry, but worked very hard to create a sort of tutoring connections and links between the Honors College here and our American Indian Student Success Center, and has done a lot to bring students into the role of tutoring and helping assist Native American students to be successful in MSU. And for that and his other academic accomplishments, got a Truman Scholarship, which is one of the top sort of national awards for service and that kind of commitment to supporting others. Next, please. We have another Truman Scholar. This is Brianna Bullshows, who also got a Truman Scholarship for a lot of work that she's done, not just in our college. She too is a microbiology major, but also with the Department of Health and Human Development, which is in the College of Education, Health and Human Development, working with the Crow Nation and developing relationships between tribal peoples in Montana and the university. And next, please. These are our 2 most recent Goldwater Scholars, and if you don't know, the Goldwater Scholarship is probably the top national award in science fields. There's Gabrielle Spurzem, who was majoring in chemistry and managed to win, does work on lipids and managed as an undergraduate. I mean, these are the kinds of opportunities that are possible in the college and generally at MSU, and won a Goldwater Scholarship for that. And also Sheridan Brown, who is a major in biochemistry, working on CRISPR technologies, and she also got a Goldwater Scholarship. So again, just to emphasize, there are all kinds of opportunities here for students to get engaged in real actual research, working alongside faculty, engaged in meaningful projects. It's one of the things I think we take the most pride in. Next, please. I just wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit. This is a kind of shameless advertisement for a program that I happen to direct. The College of Letters and Science has developed its own first-year seminar course. And so if you are coming to MSU, I would strongly encourage you to think about taking this course. It's small. Generally, we have sections of about 15 or 16 students. It's a great way to get to know other students, to get to know at least one faculty member really well in your first semester at MSU. The themes of the course are knowledge, community, and identity. We read a lot of interesting books. We start with Plato. I think every course should start with Plato, but that's just kind of my background as an historian. But we're, reading, we read novels. This year we're reading Tommy Orange's novel, There. We're reading Sarah Westover's book, Educated. So we read a variety of different books. It's a discussion class. It generally involves sitting around a big table and talking about ideas and big and important ideas in the modern world. And it's I think a great way to get connected to the university. It satisfies one of the university core requirements. And if you have questions about core, I think we could try to answer some of those later. But there are a number of sort of general education requirements that you're expected to do. I think this is a great way to satisfy that requirement. And again, it really gives you the opportunity to get to know people well. So please do think about it. I think it's a great class. We get a lot of positive feedback from students about how meaningful it was for them and how it gave them an opportunity to make new friends and really get to know the campus and in the course of reading some really interesting and important books. So keep that in mind, please. Next. I mentioned that my colleague Erica is here. We do have an advising center for the college. It's located in Wilson Hall, down on the first floor of Wilson Hall. And you see Erica there. I can see her picture also somewhere else. And also Liz Donald, who does a lot of advising for natural sciences. We are also have a social science advisor who helps with that. And I think, I'm not sure where we are exactly in the process of hiring someone. Let me just say in the broadest sense that advising is one of the most important resources that you can draw on at MSU. We take it seriously. The university as a whole takes it seriously. I mean, we've really tried hard, I would say, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, to build up a strong cadre of professional academic advisors, people like Erica, that you can go in and talk to and ask questions and explore majors. Maybe you come to MSU deciding you're going to do, I don't know, history. And then, after the first semester, you think, this isn't really the right fit for me. So what do? I think these are the kinds of folks that you want to go talk to. They know a lot. They're advocates for you. They want to support you and help you find the right place at MSU. I spend a lot of my time as an associate dean dealing both with students who are very successful and with students who sometimes aren't, or in particular students who get off track. And I can tell you probably the single most common thing I hear from students who are not making progress in the way they wanted to is that they're not going to see their advisor. I just can't tell you how important it is to stay in touch, make sure you're taking the right classes, but maybe more importantly, find out about all the opportunities that are out there. I can't tell you how many different student clubs we have in our college, how many organizations there are, activities to get involved in. There's just so much to do, but it's hard to learn about all of those opportunities unless you're regularly visiting with your advisor. So again, I just want to emphasize the importance of really drawing on the advising resources that you'll have at your disposal. Next, please. And finally, I just want to mention a couple of sort of specialized support services that we have in the college. These are also down on the first floor of Wilson Hall. They're very close to our advising center. Those are all kind of in the very same general area. The Math Learning Center is critically important to students. They provide free tutoring services for a variety of math classes, beginning all the way from sort of the entry-level math courses like contemporary math all the way through. I'm just looking at all those numbers on this slide. I'm pretty sure we're up to about calculus 4 by the time we get to the end of that list. So these are, trained professional people who are there basically all day, every day, to help you with math and also with statistics, the introduction to statistics course here, which so many of our majors are required to take. And the Math Center is also even open in the summer. It has abbreviated hours, but the tutors are there to support students who are taking summer classes as well. And we do have lots of courses that we offer in the summer, both in person and some online for students who go home during the summer, if Bozeman is not going to be their sort of summer home. So there are lots of opportunities to get caught up in terms of degree progress, or even to get ahead and take additional courses. And then finally, if you could go to the next slide. We also have, again, in Wilson Hall, the Writing Center. And this too provides free services for all students. You can bring in drafts of papers, you can bring in ideas. There are trained tutors who are in the Writing Center all the time and ready and willing to help students. You can even come in just with an idea for a paper and they can help you brainstorm for that. These are really important services, and I think generally you would find, talking to students here, that those who make use of these kinds of supporting resources, the Writing Center for writing projects of various kinds, and you're going to do a lot of writing in whatever your major might be, I can assure you that there will be a lot of writing associated with it, or math. We're really trying hard to provide resources for students so that they have that opportunity to be as successful as they possibly can. So, and the next slide, if you would. And so that's, I think, the 30 minutes I was allocated. And so we have time for questions. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. I've given you my contact information here. If you have other questions, as things sort of occur to you and you think, oh, I wish I should have asked about that, or just go ahead and please send me an email. It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. I'm more than happy to hear from any of you. Always enjoyed talking to students and meeting students and finding out, the things that they're passionate and excited about. And with that, I guess I'll finish this presentation and see if you have questions. If there are any questions, I know it looks like Erica's been doing things in the chat, but I don't know if we've answered all the questions you might have. So again, thank you very much for your time this evening and for your interest in the College of Letters and Science.
Yeah, so it looks like there were quite a few questions that came into the chat. I tried to get them all kind of written down. Hopefully we got most of them answered. But just to kind of go through some of the ones I found, can you be involved in more than one department in this college? And if so, what are some of the areas you see that students are commonly studying in this college? What's the most popular kind of program and course for students to take in your college that you're currently seeing?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, student interests are, range across obviously a number of different things. And there, as I said earlier, there are plenty of opportunities, regardless of major, to explore other programs, other courses. I think, some of we have plenty of students who double major, but also a lot of students who get a minor, and I mentioned a few of those. And those tend to be, maybe you're not interested in in pursuing a career in sustainability, but it's something that you're passionate about. So maybe your career goal is going to be in criminal justice, but you happen to be really interested in sustainability issues. There are those kinds of opportunities to explore things across different departments. So absolutely, it's not like you're confined to one thing. Again, I strongly encourage students to think about learning a language. I think, again, and when I think about, I sometimes meet with employers and talk about what are they looking for in terms of, college graduates. Obviously, strong communication skills are really important, writing, specialized knowledge in a field. But a second language can also be a real kind of, can open a lot of doors for students as well. And so all of those opportunities exist. It's not as if, you're majoring in biochemistry and can't do anything else. I think you may have seen with some of our students, like Max Yates, for example, that he was passionately interested in trying to figure out ways to help American Indian students be successful, and was able to do that as a biochemistry major. So yep, lots of opportunities to broaden and reach out and pursue your interests and pursue your passions. So.
To kind of go off of that, I'm seeing a few questions about what minors would we recommend with specific programs, or kind of how do you go about choosing maybe another major with a specific program. What is your best advice for that? Do you have specific minor major combinations, or do you just kind of give students specific advice on that one?
I don't know, Erica, if you want to tackle that one. I'm thinking you might actually, you work, you might have a better sense of what combinations are common.
Sure. I would say that advising is always individual, right? So we have a nice conversation with students when they start, and particularly in their first semester, about what their other interests are. And then we can kind of think about minors that fit or double majors that fit. In the social sciences, we do see a lot of students combining, for example, psychology with human development, if they're interested in counseling later. We see students who are interested, like you mentioned, in minors in language. So for example, psychology with the minor in Spanish and such. But it's really, based on a conversation with students and seeing what their interests are and what their career goals are, and how they can best reach that by them, combining majors and minors that we have.
Awesome. And then we did talk about core classes for a bit. What are core classes? How many do students need to take? What kind is the whole purpose of core?
Yeah. So the core is really just another name for sort of the general education requirement, and there are roughly about 9 to 10 classes that all students are required to take, regardless of major and regardless of college. So this isn't just applied to the College of Letters and Science, but in the College of Business or the College of Nursing. And this is really meant to be the breadth, in a sense, requirement of any undergraduate degree. So that when students graduate from MSU, or really I think from most undergraduate universities have some kind of general education requirement, you not only have that specialized knowledge in your field, but also the breadth of a college education and everything that it means to have a college degree, and that you are, in a sense, broadly, or I guess liberally educated. And so at MSU, it includes a requirement, as I mentioned earlier, of having a seminar course. There's a requirement for writing, also for math. We have a requirement at MSU that all students will take at least one course that satisfies a requirement in diversity, in terms of, I guess, the diversity of human experience. We also have kind of requirement that students take at least one course in the arts. That could be music, that could be painting, it could be art history. One course at least in the humanities, which is my field, so something like history or language or English. So this takes up basically about 1/4 of every student's undergraduate program. You won't do all of your core in your very first semester or first year. And I think it's, I think Erica would agree, it's good also to be taking at least a few courses in your first year that are in your intended major, so you get a really good feel for what it would be like, for example, to major in anthropology or major in microbiology. But at the same time, especially in that first year, year and a half, you'll be taking some of these broader courses that satisfy the core requirement. And again, the idea is that when you graduate, you're, you know, a well-educated, informed, broad human being. And, you know, in addition to your specialized knowledge that you've developed in physics or in philosophy, you also have this kind of broader view of the world. And so that's really what the core is intended to do.
Awesome. It looks like we have a ton of questions coming in. I'm trying to get all of them kind of sorted. Some questions are asking about what kind of support services does MSU have for students after they graduate in terms of finding jobs from your specific college. Does your college have any support services? Do we recommend using other resources here at MSU? What kind of is the best recommendation there?
Yeah, and so I don't think, you know, the support for finding jobs is really kind of centralized. I don't think it's specific to any college. So the university itself, the Allen Yarnell Center for Student Success, which has a variety of absolutely wonderful programs to help students be successful, also has a career services office, and those people are you know, working all the time to try to help students find sort of job opportunities. They provide support for, you know, working on resumes, the kinds of things that students, the support, the kinds of help that students are looking for to get sort of beyond the university and into a career. They also have a career fair where they bring employers onto campus. And again, so this isn't just the College of Letters and Science, but it's every MSU student. So there are employers who come onto campus to do interviews, to meet with students. And so the Office of Career Services is there to help all of you and really takes seriously its role in trying to make sure that you get the kind of job that you're looking for. And so these are professional people and they work very hard to support you in that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering some of those questions. As I go through some of them, I do want to say I don't think we're going to have time to get all of these answered. So where can students reach out for more questions about the College of Letters and Science? And you directly, other contacts that you may recommend, we can chat those into the chat feature as well so students can have them. Any kind of other recommendations there for who to reach out to with those questions?
Well, yeah, certainly I'm one person. I would also, and Erica is another. And a third person I would mention is Amanda Smith, who works in the Dean's office in the College of Letters and Science. Amanda is our student services support person for the college as a whole. She may redirect questions just as I might too. You know, depending on what it is, if it's a fairly technical question about, you know, a certain course in physics, I might redirect you to the student support people in the Department of Physics. But you're certainly welcome to start with us, and because in every instance we'll know who to contact to make sure that you're getting, you know, accurate information and the right answer for things. So I would say start with me or with Erica or with Amanda Smith. And we'll get you connected with the people who can answer your questions. So,
Awesome. And would one of you mind typing Amanda's email into the chat just so everybody can have that? And then I want to mention with any questions regarding admissions, transferring credits, orientation, next steps, registering for classes, Bozeman, MSU, any kind of questions like that, feel free to reach out to our admissions office. We are more than happy to be your point of contact as well to kind of go through that general process. Other than that, I do want to send a huge thank you out to both our presenters and our attendees for tuning in tonight to our Meet Your Major Week and our College of Letters and Science session specifically. Thank you so much to everyone, and I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.
Thanks. Good night, everybody. Thanks for your time.